And joining us for more on this is Mahya Ostovar. She is a lecturer at the University of Galway and a women's rights activist. Mahya, thank you so much for your time. But we've heard about how these 2 weeks of protests have really kind of escalated. But I'm curious, what exactly are these protesters demanding?
Hi, Alex. Thanks for having me. So first of all, as you mentioned, people have been protesting for 2 weeks. And what we see right now is really a humanitarian crisis because of the violence and basically brutal crackdown. What the protesters are demanding, and I want to emphasize here, that they are really risking their lives. They know better than anyone that they can be killed on the street. They can be arrested, tortured, and executed, just like you mentioned, Irfan Soltani, that is now on death row. So despite all these risks, they want to make one thing clear. They don't recognize the Islamic Republic as their legitimate government anymore. So what we hear on the streets, the slogans are really radical. They're targeting the whole system, the entire regime. They're basically chanting death to Khamenei, and they're also slogans in support of Reza Pahlavi, the son of our last Shah, our last king. And one of the main slogans for this protest that kind of, I think, captures the common feeling of Iranians right now is that this is the final battle and Pahlavi will return. And I think it captures both this feeling that, first of all, the Islamic Republic is on the verge of collapse, and this is the final battle, and yet the hardest battle. And also it shows how protesters see this movement, this protest, as a kind of counter-revolution. Basically, what they want to do, they see the Islamic revolution that happened 47 years ago as a historical mistake, and they want to correct that mistake. So what I see as the main demand of these protests, it has gone further than any kind of demand from the government. They want to basically show the world that they don't want this regime anymore.
Gotcha. Well, and in terms of outside intervention, you said you don't believe that statements are enough. How do you feel the global response must change on this?
I feel it might change because honestly, right now, the Islamic Republic has crossed a red line. They have slaughtered basically people on the street, unarmed citizens just protesting. They have slaughtered them. And the numbers that are coming out are really frightening. I mean, human rights organizations that have been documenting these crimes in Iran for years, they are saying that this is worse than ever. We have never imagined that have happened. So what I'm saying is that the situation is really urgent. And like all these years, during decades, what was the world's response to the Islamic Republic? Only diplomacy. And it has never worked. And it has only gotten worse. So we are far beyond that point of negotiating and diplomacy. We need real action now. And to be honest, I mean, I'm here because outside Iran, from the comfort of my home, I feel I need to echo the Iranians' voice inside Iran as faithfully as possible, because they don't have that voice right now. They are in complete blackout. Basically, the Islamic Republic has gotten hostage those people for 6 days now, keeping them in the dark and not letting the videos and images come out of the country so that nobody sees what they have done, how many people they have killed. So I think it's time for the international community to act, like real action, not statements anymore. And my responsibility is to echo those voices, because those little messages that are getting out of the country, almost all of them are calling for international help, for international action. So we need to echo those voices as faithfully as possible. We are in no position to tell them that no, you should kind of choose between different political parties. Iranian people don't have this luxury of choosing between Western political parties or Western ideology. They need help right now.
I understand. Mahya, hey, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you.